All right, I'm here on a job here doing multiple things. We're building a new pergola for this customer here, taking down this old raggedy pergola. We're going to build a new one in its place. We've just finished this siding job. Did a full wraparound siding around this carport, enclosed carport area. Did these two closet areas with new siding. And then we're also doing the TPO roof here. And this is a flat roof. The guys are working on a flat roof. Now the customer had a lot of leakage areas, problems up here because it had like a 20-30 year old flat roof.
Head northeast.
It had a, what do you call it, a tar down, mop down, old granule tar down shingles. Now we're doing proper commercial grade TPO, thermal polyolefin. It's basically a 60 millimeter membrane, plastic rubber membrane that wraps over the flat roof and basically wraps around the entire top and folds over the edges so no water will get into it at all. And then we got the custom drip edge right over here also. But what I wanted to bring our attention to is this area here, this gazebo. We are taking this gazebo down and donating it to the Garden of Eden. Customer no longer wants it because he says it's a big hassle, pain in the butt, because it's got some problems. In my opinion, it's only got minor problems. It's not that bad. So I wanted to do a video to show how these guys are taking it apart. And right here is one of the roof sections that they just pulled off. So kind of let me show you what this is. The old roof here, you know, it's pretty old school, but a good paint job would do it right up. You know, it's got these old cedar shakes here that are kind of falling apart, but it's still intact, and all it needs is a paint job. So these, looks like, how many panels are there? 8 panels?
What was that?
8 panels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So there's 8 of these panels that go up here in this octagon ring. And the way they go together, are they bolted? They're actually bolted. Let me stand up here. You see right there where his glove is, kind of? They're bolted together right there, there, and there. So I'll show you on this one, 1, 2, 3 bolts. Just like on this one, 1, 2, 3 bolts. These have to be bolted back together when you put them together. So each of these panels is like this bottom one, but the top ones are smaller. The top ones are thinner. So the bottom section is very much the same as the top, except there's 2 layers. And you can obviously tell the top ones are thinner triangles. So basically, you bolt these together 3 times at the top, right? So you got to lay each of these panels one at a time, but you got to start with 2. Just like these are 2 together, you got to start with 2 together and put them up there. And the final piece is going to be this piece right here. This piece right here lays on top, and you see the hook right here that are on these hooks somehow come together with these, and this thing, let me show you. This piece sits on the very top of the gazebo, hooked into these, each 8 of them. So I wanted to show a little instruction manual on how to put this back together. So as you can see, the guys are working on the top part. Let's see how they get this down. So obviously it's going to take 2 or 3 guys to do this part. Somebody's got to hold it while the other person takes the bolts off or puts the bolts back on. So you see that's happening right now. Let me come around to the side, see if I can get a better shot of this. So you see those pillars also are holding it together. Those little pillars. So one of them's got the final one down while the other one holds the final one. So it's a very, you got to be very careful with this, whoever's going to put this back together. But I'm not sure if there's an instruction manual that goes with this. I just wanted to do a video to show. There you go. And Chewy's got it without damaging the electrical wire. Perfect. All right, stage 1 complete. So again, I want to show those pillars that are standing up tall. Those are probably going to be have to bolted or screwed in after the roof is put together. So the lower roof has to be put on first after this is put together. So this is going to come in 4 or 5 pieces. the pieces they took off on the top, the roof, that's one piece, but actually it's in 8 pieces. So those 8 pieces have to be put together probably individually. And then this whole roof is going to be taken down by panels again, and more 8 pieces, 8 more pieces. And then the whole railing and the posts are going to come down. So I imagine this deck has to be laid wherever it's going to be set first. First lay the deck, and if there's any repairs that need to be done, I think there are some 2x4 repairs that have to be done to this first, and then you can go ahead and set it up. And that's the reason why the customer is getting rid of it, because some of these 2x6 boards, you know, are really damaged on the corners here, and he didn't want to pay the money to have it repaired, because this is probably like a $2,000 or $3,000 repair. And the reason it's such a high repair is you cannot repair the bottom side unless you take off all of this. So the entire thing has to be taken apart for us to get up under here and make a repair, which would cost a couple of $1,000 on top of the $1,000 demolition fee here. So the customer has decided, you know what, screw it, I don't even want it, just take it apart and get it out of my house. So that's why Miguel here with Sublime Conceptions is going to go ahead and donate this amazing, beautiful gazebo here to the Garden of Eden. Now, the Garden of Eden is an amazing, beautiful, sustainable community, an eco-village out in Arlington. And if any of you will watch the news in the last few years, this was the community that the city of Arlington decided to manufacture and propagate a full-fledged assault on the Garden of Eden. And what they did was, I think this was back in 2012 or 13 or 14, this is a few years back, they decided to get the city involved and the sheriffs and the police department involved, and they did a whole investigation, a fake investigation, a fraudulent investigation. They hired airplanes to take pictures of their gardens and their harvest and their crops and everything, and they made up a story that they were growing marijuana in their gardens, which was entirely fabricated and untrue. Well, one day they decided to pay a $50,000 investigation and SWAT team raid. The SWAT team came in with full militarized police gear, full automatic weapons and helmets, Kevlars and flak jackets, busted into the Garden of Eden with about 15 or so people living there at the time. I mean, naked women were taking showers, mothers breastfeeding, 2 babies at a time, breastfeeding them on her breasts, and these guys with MP5s and AR-15s, and the masked villains of the police department in Arlington busted down their doors and raided the Garden of Eden over what they thought, what they allegedly came up with marijuana plants. Nobody found a plant. There was no illegal activity going on with the Garden of Eden, so it was a full $50,000 raid paid by the taxpayers, and for nothing. They got nothing. They didn't get an arrest that day. They didn't arrest anybody that was violating any kind of crazy crime, no crazy criminal activity going on, but maybe a traffic violation warrant. That's about it. Yep, that's the Garden of Eden for you. Always doing beautiful things. So what we do at our company, Sublime Conceptions, we recognize that this family is offering feeding hundreds and thousands of people every year. So this family cooks meals every day and houses several people, up to a dozen to 20 people at a time. Houses them in their property, gives them job opportunities to work trade, work in the gardens, learn how to master self-mastery, how to cope with society, and how to live in a world totally free, sustainably free, as a full sovereign in a world of corruption like we have today. So I take it upon myself, Miguel Angel here, that this community is doing great things for the world. And what we've done at our company is anytime that we have extra materials that customers, we try to get donations from customers. And obviously this guy doesn't want this beautiful thing, and I think it's a great structure. Why in God's name would I throw this in a landfill when it's perfectly good wood? It just needs a repair. That's all it is. And by the way, I'm still recording and talking about this because I want to show some of the process of taking this apart. So here he is again on the second layer, and you see him with the wrenches there. And basically you're just taking the bolts apart, the nuts and bolts apart one at a time. So you start off with one, and then obviously you got to go to the second one, and this whole piece is going to come out like that piece came out, and like those 8 pieces came out. And you're just gonna do the same thing all the way around and take them all the way across. Just like this bolt right there. That's the same type of bolts you're taking off. And then again, these pillars right here are the smaller ones on the top. Where'd they go? Ugh. Right here. This seems pretty explanatory. This bottom piece right here slides into this metal piece. You'll see the metal piece right up there. Let me go up closer. I'm gonna get on the ladder with you. You see those metal pieces right there? Right there, right there. There's these metal pieces sticking out that this butt end is going to go into on the metal. Right there and there. All right, and that's it. Once you got this piece on top of the first roof, that's when you start bolting together these pieces right here. And this piece goes just like this. Something like that. There you go. There you go. That piece fits right on there, and it'll lift this thing about 1.5 feet up higher than that one. And after it's all said and done, like I said, you're gonna top it off with this piece. This is a beautiful gazebo that we're gonna be donating to the Garden of Eden. And we just wanna send a message to the world that, you know, it's not about just recycling and limiting your waste. It's about actually creating a negative footprint on the world. So every time we throw a piece of trash away, we are creating more carbon footprint. You know, it's gonna take a big diesel truck to haul this off, and then they take it all the way to the landfill and it just sits in the landfill. This is good material. The Garden of Eden is gonna put this material to use. They're gonna donate, they're gonna build this at their community gardens, and this is gonna be able to house, somebody could actually live under here, or, you know, a family could, or they can use this as a community workshop gathering space to play music, you know? That's what it's all about. We're not just limiting our waste and recycling, we're going above and beyond, and we're making progress in the world by limiting our carbon footprints. And that's what the Garden of Eden is all about. It's about living radically, sustainably free, and, you know, and having the mindset, a constant daily mindset of always doing something good and bettering your life. And it's not about just barely getting by. It's about what can we do every single day to make this world a better place. And I believe the Garden of Eden is doing that with their contributions to the world. So that's it. Miguel here signing off. I just wanted to say I really appreciate y'all, Garden of Eden, what y'all are doing. Y'all are amazing. Led by Quinn Eaker, radically sustainable master of self and master of this life. And also ran by Shelly Smith of the Garden of Eden, and Inuk as well, Eden's wife, with their 3 lovely children. And there's Sarah and Love there as well, Apollo and Dakota saying hi to y'all too. Many other people at the Garden of Eden. But just want to say Merry Christmas, early Christmas present, right? We don't believe in buying gifts for everybody all the time and consumerism, consume, but we do believe in bartering and gifting and exchanging, and that's what the new earth paradigm is about, guys. All right, well, there's the instructions there. Hopefully you guys can put this to great use. I think so. I look forward to doing a sound healing or some music jams in here someday, lighting this sucker up. Uh-oh, looks like we found a big ant pile. Looks like there's some ants that live in here. So that's probably what's going on underneath, and that's why it needs a repair. But anyways, I've let y'all know what's going on with this structure, and looking forward to delivering this to the Garden of Eden soon. And that's it. Miguel signing off. Peace.